Andrew McCART, IFL TV, in association with MTK Global. Delighted to be joined by Ruairi the Rook Dalton. Ruairi, you must be excited. But first of all, how are you? How's the wife? How's the family?
Everyone's good, thank God, especially in this crazy time at the moment, but thank God everyone's good.
Well, let's talk about it then. I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, I seen on MTK Instagram that you're an official MTK fighter. I've been to Belfast the last 2 times, seen you fight at the Ulster Hall. Don't want to get slaughtered for that, but now that you have signed with MTK, how excited are you? You must be over the moon with that.
They're the best. Like I say, fast-growing business in boxing, but I'm very, very just privileged to be part of your team,
You fought last 2 times at the Ulster Hall. Before this sort of the pandemic happened, when were you lined up to fight next? There was talk about, well, me and you discussed about fighting at Madison Square Garden on the McConn undercard.
But that's a long, see if I can on that hopefully next year. That would be a dream come true, that would be 2021. That would be the ultimate goal there, just to fight in the garden.
Was there any hope of that happening this year, this time round, or anything like that?
No, I don't think it was. There was a wee bit of talk, but not really. It didn't really push forward. Obviously because of all this coronavirus stuff. But hopefully, 2021 will be there. There'll be a lot of shouting going on.
You've got the whole of Queens behind you, haven't you? Was it Queens? Your dad?
My dad's from Woodhaven, Queens.
Are you still got family? I know you're in Belfast right now, but obviously the way New York is like at this moment in time, have you still got family over there, and how they cope?
I have more family in New York, what they actually do in Belfast, believe it or not. It all started from my dad's. My granny moved there. She was originally from Belfast. She moved there when she was 17. Met an American, and just kind of grew from there.
Just 6 minutes. So go back to MTK. Why MTK? I heard you say that they're the best in the business, but you've had 2 fights under their umbrella, so to speak, at the Ulster Hall. But why MTK? Why MTK?
You look at the opportunities they're giving their fighters. They're just giving their fighters so much opportunities. And 5-10 years ago, pros didn't even get that opportunity. They can't even get that far in the game. But it's amazing what they're doing and what they're bringing to boxing. It's just unbelievable. Everyone knows who MTK are now. They're not small. They're the biggest in boxing. Definitely.
Well, we've seen what they've done with the fighter. Even if with MTK, if you lose as a fighter, that's not the end of the road. They get you another fight.
Exactly.
We've seen guys like Tyrone McKenna lose. We've seen guys like, we've seen guys under the MTK umbrella lose, and they've come back and they've had a big fight after this. So that must be something for a fighter like yourself. Good news to hear something like that.
100%, because a lot of people in the pro game, especially in even the States, you lose once and you're kind of forget about it, which is sad. Anyone can lose a fight, but at MTK, they always kind of, you lose one, okay, we'll get you another opportunity. And there's a lot of MTK fighters out there who's lost 2 and 3 times, and they're banging on the door for, big titles.
What's your hope as a professional? You've been in the Ulster amateur scene and stuff like that as a kid, but now for people that don't know you, I know you, I've seen 2 of your fights now. For people that don't know you, that are going to watch this interview, how would you describe your sort of style and the way you approach a fight and stuff like that? How would you describe it?
Well, I'm kind of a boxer fighter, if that makes sense. I like to move and hit and not be hit. And if I got like a house out of boxing or something, long-term goal, it'd be great to say, that's what I got out of it. Because you put so much work in it, and it'd be good to get, something out of it at the end.
Is it money or titles that inspires you more? What's the goal? What's the thing there?
Well, it'd be good. So if you had a house, say you got a house, and so it's probably money, Well, money talks. And to live in New York, you need money. You can't be skint to live in New York. No one will want to know you.
Is it Queens? Is it Queens that you're going to live in? Is that where you live?
Well, have you ever made it in life? I would like to live in Manhattan, Upper East Side. Once you live in the Upper East Side, you made it in life.
So that's the ultimate goal in life, the Upper East Side of Manhattan.
That's it. Someone making your breakfast every day. That's it. You don't have to move. That's the way I want to live.
You're like the Godfather, eh? Because you've got like tattoos of like gangsters on your belly and that. You've got that sort of. I seen that you put on your Instagram story you were watching. Was it Goodfellas?
Yeah, it's one of my all-time favorite movies. I probably watched it about 60 times at least. My dad was good friends with him in Queens. He was a lot of what's happening. He was in he knows he's hung out with a lot of them, you know. He met them in jail and stuff like that.
Oh, really? So is that why you sort of like? I wonder how would you describe? You're not a fan of the gangster lifestyle, but
No, it's kind of been, you know, once you go to New York and you meet them kind of guys, and that's the kind of life, you know. My dad grew up in that life, you know. He like I said, he was a bank robber, and he paid the price, 11 years in prison, you know. But he's a working man now, but that's the way it goes. But he knows all the guys, and all the guys come around to a house, and they're interesting characters.
that sounds fascinating, man. I wouldn't like. I'm just thinking that if I ever come to New York, I might come and meet your old man if that's all right. I
You'll
might
never
come.
want to leave. Let me tell you, every time that my friends go over to stay with my dad, they always have a great time.
You go, sure, mate. I'm telling you right now. As soon as I'm coming to New York, I'm hooking your dad up. I'm going to go meet your dad. You
Not a
sound like.
problem. He'll be there, whatever you need, he's got you.
I don't want to talk about you though. What weight are you going to campaign at? I mean, you've had normally where a professional fighter turns professional, they sort of like fight. They're not fought at their
Higher.
weight yet. You know what I mean? They're fighting a wee bit higher because they don't need to make weight. What weight are you going to campaign at?
I'm going to try and get down to possibly bantam. It's like definitely super bantamweight, but if I can get down to bantam, I'll be big and huge. Right now I'm at super featherweight, but you know, I was out of the ring 5 years before that, you know, living in New York and coming back and forth, and then I said I'm going to get back into it. So we're looking probably bantam, super bantamweight.
Not a bad division. Not a bad
Yeah,
division.
it's
When you look
very
at the
hard.
champions.
There's a lot of great talent out there.
When you look at this, obviously you're just what you 2-0 now, Ruairi. Is that right?
You know, yep.
Again, with this sort of virus and stuff, everything is on hold at this moment in time. But what are you hoping for this year? What are you hoping to get out of boxing this year?
Well, hopefully, you know, hopefully by the end of next year, hopefully we'll have at least an Irish title or something, you know. And then hopefully by 2023, hopefully we're knocking on the door for a British title. You know, that's where it's going.
Is that the sort of hope?
Fast route.
Do you want to get fast tracked? Is that the sort of thing you believe with?
Well,
sort of,
I'm 29 years of age, you know, and I think every boxer, it's different if you're kind of 23, 24, you can take your time, you know, but 29, I think you kind of got to push on a wee bit more.
Again, we've seen guys like Sean McComb. One of you, Sean McComb, is a great example because we've seen he turned professional August, I think it was August 2018.
16, 17, was it 18? There you
18,
go.
yeah. So he's only been pro less than 2 years now, and he's already sort of, you know, the way MTK's progressed him. If you've got the talent, MTK will push you. Do you know what I mean? They'll get you.
If you got the talent and you put the work in, you don't mess around. You know, MTK, well, you're in good hands. You know, you're definitely in good hands.
You're doing a lot with Jamie Conlon. What's it like dealing with Jamie when he's a good guy, isn't he?
Jimmy's a good guy. I've boxed each other as amateurs and stuff like that, you know. But Jimmy is he's a good guy, and he's always been fair with me, and he's straight down the line. I appreciate that very, very much.
So you said that you boxed Jamie in amateurs there. Who won?
Yes, we beat each other once, and his wee brother Michael beat me 5 times, 3 by a point. I was always knocking on the doors in amateur. I was always up there. You know, it was around a tough time, and there was me, Michael, Jamie. You know, it was a hot division at the time.
When you look at the Michael and stuff like that sort of weight, sort of the super bantamweights, the featherweights, bantamweights, super featherweights. So them 4 divisions right there, they're some of the best talent in the world, isn't they?
It's amazing. A lot of it's in Britain too. You know, we got a lot over here, which is great. You know, especially for domestic scene and stuff like that.
I've got to say that cigar. Show me that cigar again.
That's a Cohiba Maduro Cuban. You know, number 5. It's kind of a strong cigar. But when I send you something over, I'll not give you something too strong to make you sick. I'll give you something mild to medium to break you in.
Because what we're going to do, when I get that, I'll be so humble that I'm thankful that you sent me some cigars, but I'm going to get another interview with you. And we're just going to talk cigars. Yep. We'll just talk cigars.
Not a problem. I could talk about cigars all the time. You know, I mean, I started about 6 years ago and it just led from there.
You spoke much. You get David Diamante's from New York. He's got a cigar lounge in Brooklyn. Have you ever been down there by any chance?
He does. You know, I just missed it one time, and I've just walked by and never realised that was actually his cigar lounge. You know, but probably the best one. I hear his is very good, but in Queens they have a great one. You know, Havana Dreams. But I know he has one in Carter Frampton, and I think Jimmy Murnau was in it doing an interview one time.
That's right. Yep, that's right. Are you going to hope to open up a cigar lounge in up at East Side of Manhattan?
Let's see if we get one there. You don't have to worry about nothing. You know, once you get, that's all the money, people. You know, you're sorted. You hit the jackpot.
I want to talk about, like, you're sort of like your 2 fights as a pro so far. Like, are you happy with your performances there? Being like you're fighting at a bigger weight, like the fact that you didn't get the stoppages and stuff like that. Are you sort of like
Well,
happy with you?
I'm happy with the second performance. The first time, it was my first fight in 5 years since the Commonwealth Games in 2014. So I knew it was going to be very ring rusty and stuff like that. But I think there was a big, big difference between the first performance and the second performance. And as my career grows, you'll get to see the better of myself. Especially as the rounds go on and stuff, will suit me because, as you know, I have a good engine. I don't smoke. I don't drink. Just smoke cigars and that's it.
Definitely. Talk to me about Belfast boxing. I mean, Belfast boxing, you produce great little fighters, great fighters all the time. I mean, Carl Frampton, you've got Mick Conlon, Jamie Conlon, you've got Sean McComb, Tyrone McKenna. Why is Belfast such a hub for boxing?
Well, maybe because, there's a lot of amateur clubs here. I think it's every mile and a half you've got an amateur club. So Belfast is kind of, you either do two or three things when you're younger. You're either going to Gaelic, hurling, football, or else boxing, and boxing just seems to breed the greatness out of people. It kind of takes a lot of people off the street, and a lot of people can't handle themselves. So I think that kind of helps, that they go into boxing and they love it, and they always just produce great fighters.
I tell you what, wait, are you in Belfast or Miami? Look at the sun shining. What's going on there?
I can't believe it. Belfast, but good. My wife just FaceTimed me an hour ago. She's actually in Philadelphia and it's pouring rain, and it's sunny here. It's great weather.
I seen as well. You put a post up. I think it must have been in your back garden. The sun was shining as well.
It's been everywhere. The past 2 or 3 days has been absolutely great.
Well, it's cloudy in Scotland, mate. But you don't.
Where are you, Glasgow?
No, I'm Edinburgh. I'm on the East Coast. So I want to say thanks for doing this. You got anything you like to tell people? Obviously, that again they don't know who you are, but they want to know who you are. And just tell them a little bit about your style, what you can sort of like, what you can bring for them, what you can show them, and if they can watch you fight, sort of thing.
Well, if you want to come watch me, there's one thing you're guaranteed is entertainment, flamboyant. I'm different and unique. That's about it.
Because you wear the sort of, you got like the ring attire and stuff like that, don't you?
I wore the top hat the first time and the big trench coat, So that'll come out and inspire me. If I have a fight in New York, I'll come out something different, like a big pinstripe gangster suit. Come out something like that. That'll get the fans, kind of want. You need to be different, You have to have something different and kind of, especially if kids, they'll always remember you and stuff like that. They want to come back and it's something hopefully people enjoy.
I totally agree. Well, Ruairi, I won't keep you much longer, mate. Go and enjoy that sunshine, enjoy that cigar. I'm just about to text you my address for some cigars, mate, if you don't mind.
You got it, mate. Not a problem. Anything for you, Andy. Have a great day. Nice speaking to you.
You too, Ruairi. Speak to you soon, my man. Thanks very much, mate.
You got it.
Yes.